if for nothing else, I just have to convince you guys to at least go out and check this movie out. If you're a horror fan, if you're a fan of movies in general, if you're a fan of creative freedom and just ingenuity in the horror industry, go check out Bring Her Back. Bring Her Back is a horror movie directed by the Philippou brothers, Danny and Michael Philippou. They are directors who are a big new scene in the horror industry at the moment, and I'm so happy that I hope they start to get their flowers with this movie too in particular, because Talk to Me, in my opinion, was one of the greatest horror movies. It was a masterpiece, and Bring Her Back is no exception. I would go as far as to argue that the Philippou brothers, both Danny and Michael, in terms of fresh blood in the horror industry, they might be my favorite working right now. Like, they're just so good and have such a handle on story, character, horror, all that tension, but it builds up and it all brings in a beautiful blend of emotion, tension, atmosphere. All of it works, but it's also haunting at the same time. Yet this movie never loses sight of the characters at hand, starting with the cast. The cast is stellar. Like, Sally Hawkins as Laura, the main character in this movie, one of the main characters, is so excellent. She has to hold so much as her character, as this mother, as this person who is taking care of these children. I don't want to give too much away, but we follow this kid named Andy who essentially has to be taken care of by this other woman named Laura. And as the movie progresses, we start to find out why that is. We start to find out why he's estranged from his parents that are biological to him. And as the movie progresses, the way Sally Hawkins is able to bring you in as Laura, and the way she's able to slowly unveil stuff about her character while you're endeared to her, while you're also kind of afraid of her, there's something off about her character throughout this movie. And the film does a great job at planting seeds at what those off-putting things might be, but it does such a good job at still keeping you endeared to her as a person. And I think that's what this movie has a great handle on, is its characters. Their stories are at the forefront, their arcs are at the forefront, so it makes the horror that much more palpable, that much more scary. That's assisted by Jonah One Phillips as Oliver. He plays this kid in this movie, the youngest brother of the family, so to speak, and he's so good at just visual storytelling with this, because there are moments where you're wondering what is wrong with this kid, if there's something off about it. And the movie does a great job at kind of planting those seeds without filling you too much in, to at least keep you in mystery too. Followed by Billy Barrett as Andy. Andy is like the main child. We're following his POV throughout this movie, and I felt so bad for him. Like, he's so good at holding in so much as a teenage kid, but yet he feels like a realistic teenage kid. He's a little rageful. He's got a chip on his shoulder from some past experiences, but he is endearing, and he is a flawed character, and this movie explores those flaws in a way that I found very realistic. Hauntingly realistic even. Like, not just the spiritual stuff, but the way this movie seeps in family drama and really accentuates the tension between these people on an emotional level before we even get to the haunting stuff is so damn impressive. By the time we got to the haunting stuff, I was all entranced and scared by that, but I was already terrified just from the concept of what Andy as a child was going through as a teenager. Like, that alone was scary enough on top of the haunting aspect that I found this movie juggled so well as well. In terms of story, this movie really trusts its audience to just kind of sit with it and learn as we go along. It doesn't unveil all the information right away, and you're allowed to live in mystery with these characters, really trusting its audience. I found this movie so powerful in its statements that aren't so ham-fisted on the movie. It's not on the nose, but the way this movie tackles subjects of the foster care system, the way it tackles subjects of abandonment in your family, the way it tackles ideas of grief as well. I thought it all blended so well, keeping spiritually within the themes of their previous film, Talk to Me, while still delivering on something even more scary at the same time. And I think that's what's so fun about this movie, is if you go in with mystery, if you go in not knowing everything, the way it unfolds itself to you is so enchanting. Like, I was so invested. I did not feel the runtime of this movie whatsoever. The pacing was so great, yet we were able to live with these characters and breathe with them while still keeping it fun. Like, not fun in the sense of a good time, but fun in the sense of pace. Like, you're in and you're out. The movie feels long because of the experiences the characters are going through, not weak pacing. Coming from direction, there's so much visual storytelling in this movie. The Philippou brothers have such a great handle on telling us about a character in like one shot. There's so many moments that, instead of the movie explaining a rule of, say, the horrific elements going on or the haunting elements, because movies have rules sometimes, this movie, what it does with its world building essentially is that it kind of fills you in on the world through what the characters are doing through their actions. So you're not fully let in on how the rules of everything going on works. But as you watch certain characters take these maneuvers, do these things throughout the film that kind of unveil what's going on, it does a great job at keeping you in mystery, but like, by the end of the movie, by it wraps up, you're kind of able to put your head around how everything works. And I thought it was so organic in how it unfolded this information without any exposition. Like, there's no expositional dialogue that feels ham-fisted in this movie whatsoever, in my opinion. I at least didn't catch it. It was so well hidden that it just felt authentic. In terms of the horror, this movie does not pull its punches, and it's not for the faint of heart. It is an actual, genuine horror movie from top to bottom. It's not nice to its characters. There are times in this film I was actively bargaining with the movie itself to not hurt people. Like, I was actively being like, please don't hurt this person. I was the one going through denial of what would happen to a character, and I love that this film doesn't create outs. It doesn't cheat. It doesn't do anything to kind of bend its own rules to get people out of the scenario. It's very unapologetic, but in a way that works for the narrative, like, tension of the movie. You don't feel like anybody is safe in this film, and that works so well for the tension. Like, by the end of this movie, I was a sobbing mess, not just because of the horrific stuff that was scary, but just because of the emotionality that was coming from the characters through the whole story. What's so great about these movies, what's so great about Bring Her Back, just like Talk to Me, I would argue, is that you could take out the horror stuff in both these films entirely. And they're great dramas at the center of it. Like, these movies are just excellent dramas. Talk to Me being about addiction and grief. Bring Her Back being about concepts of mortality, resurrection, and fear of losing someone. Like, all that stuff is so well palpable and fearful in and of itself that the haunting element is almost like icing on the cake. Yet it's a really fucked up, disgusting cake that traumatizes you and you don't want to eat it because, yeah, there's some gross imagery in this that is going to stick with me for a while. Like, I actively had to look away from the screen at times. And not because it was gratuitous, but because it was just honest, terrifying, and scary. And I would really respect this movie for having the balls to just not be nice with its audience and its characters, because that's what adds to the tension. It's what creates a true horrific experience. I would argue Bring Her Back, to me, is scarier than Talk to Me, darker than Talk to Me, definitely not as funny. Like, Bring Her Back is sad, scary from minute 1 to minute end. Talk to Me, I would say, has more of a balance of tone, and Talk to Me has more of a, like, fluctuating tone in it. I would just argue that Talk to Me has a bit of more of their cynical sense of humor. The first act is a little funnier than this one. This one is like dragged from the beginning. Not to its, detriment. It's just, that is something I think you should be aware of. This movie is one atmospheric emotion, and it sticks with you. It's a movie that seeps within your skin, and that's what I love about his films, is that they create atmosphere that's so palpable. God, I love this movie. I feel like I'm just gushing it because, like, there's not much I can say about it because I don't want to give too much away. Like, I genuinely don't want to spoil anything. But if you love Talk to Me and you love horror films and you love these directors and you have not gotten a chance to check out Bring Her Back, please go see it. Please give it its flowers. Please give it all the money it can get. It deserves a good box office run. This movie is a fantastic horror film, a unique vision, fully realized. I cannot wait to see what the Philippou brothers do next. They are so fucking talented in what they do, and I just can't wait, man. They inspire the shit out of me, and I just want to see the next movie. They're probably my favorite horror directors working at the moment. I don't know if that's a hot take. It might be a fresh take. Whatever take it is the take I have, because god damn it, they're talented. Thank you so much for watching Scatterbrain Reviews. If you haven't gotten a chance, thank you so much for watching Scatterbrain Reviews. If you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, go see it as soon as you can. Horror fans unite. We're eating good. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. What do you think of Bring Her Back, and do you like it more than Talk to Me? If you have seen it, thank you for watching. Goodbye.